John 15:16 says, in King James Version, "Ye have not chosen me, but I have chosen you and ordained you, that ye should go and bring forth fruit, and that your fruit should remain, that whatsoever ye shall ask of the Father in my name, he may give it to you." Welcome back to another video. This is Mr. Solo Dolo. Make sure y'all do the things, like the video for the algorithm, subscribe for more content if you are new, and make sure you turn those post notifications on so you know when I'm about to upload. So I want to make this video to address that a lot of people in this platform, a lot of content creators are calling themselves chosen ones, right? That seems to be what everybody, well, most a lot of content creators want to call themselves, is a chosen one, right? And I figured out why a lot of guys are putting chosen one in their title all the time. They're calling themselves a chosen one because they're really doing it for views and clicks. That's the main reason. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's stop the cap. They're doing it for views and clicks to get more attention, more engagement. You know what I'm saying? It triggers the algorithm, right? But here's the thing. A lot of people want to call themselves a chosen one, but are not actually called to do anything. They're not. The thing is, you call yourself a chosen one. What are you exactly called to do? When you call yourself a chosen one, you have to ask yourself this question. Because you can't just go around calling yourself a chosen one because you saw somebody on YouTube make a video that they are a chosen one, because someone else called themselves a chosen one. That does not automatically make you a chosen one. You have to figure out, go to the Most High, maybe pray about it, of what you are called to do. What are you chosen to do? Because you can't just say, I'm a chosen one, but you're not called to do anything, right? You don't have a purpose. And if you don't have a purpose, then you're basically useless. Because if you don't have a purpose, you're useless. You have nothing to really live for without purpose, right? So ask yourself the question, what am I chosen to do? What is my specific calling in this lifetime? Out of all the years that I've been on earth, what is exactly that I'm called to do on this earth? Before I leave earth, I know that I have to carry out a purpose. I have to carry out God's plan. But what is that plan? What is that calling? And not a lot of people will be called to do something. They'll be called to do something, but a lot of them do not pick up the phone. That's the thing. A lot of people will be called to do something, but not pick up the phone. And it tells you in the Bible that, many are called, few are chosen. So the few that are chosen to do something, to do a specific calling, they picked up the phone. They picked up the phone. But a lot of people did not. And a lot of the ones that are saying that I'm a chosen one, they did not pick up the phone. They didn't. They're just regurgitating what they heard from someone else. They're regurgitating what they heard from someone else speak about when it comes to being a chosen one. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to sit up here and say that I'm a chosen one, because I can be called to do something else, and we're all not called to do the same thing, for the record. A lot of us are called to do different things in this lifetime. We all have different paths. We all have different ambitions, different goals, a different purpose that we must fulfill. We all don't have the same purpose. We don't. But a lot of people, they have potential to fulfill purpose, but they choose not to pick up the call, not to pick up the phone and answer that call when they are being called by God. And when you're called to do something and you have a purpose that you need to fulfill in life, you have to live a certain lifestyle that isn't conducive to how you were living before, right? You cannot live in your past. You cannot live the way you were living before that was not conducive to God, not conducive to following Christ. You know, you have to switch up your attitude. You got to change certain things about your life. Switch up your habits. You know, reframe your mindset. A lot of things about you has to change. And you might have to do a whole 360 in order to be ready to fulfill that purpose that God has for you. You know, you cannot pour, new wine into old wine skins, because that old wine skin is going to collapse. It's going to break. It's going to crash. So when you are called to fulfill purpose in your life, you cannot live the old you. The old you has to die. It has to. And stripping the old you, getting rid of the old you, is going to take time. It's not an overnight thing to where you can just slowly, just kill it all together. It's going to take time for the old you to dissipate and transition into a newer version of yourself that's renewed, evolving. You know what I'm saying? Leveling a leveled up version of yourself. So people think that they're chosen, but they're still living for the devil. They're still sinning. They're still doing things that their old self used to do. Right? They're still attached to their past. A lot of guys are not meant to be a chosen one, because that comes with a huge responsibility. God can call you to do something, with your life. But if you're living for the devil, you're not going to answer that call, because your connection to God is cut off. When you're heavy in sin and you're too heavy in the world, you're too deep in the world, you're not going to hear what the Most High has for you at all. You cannot be a chosen one and still live for the world. It doesn't work that way. You have to be completely cut off from this world, from this matrix. And a lot of people that are calling themselves chosen ones they're not being honest with themselves. They're still living for the world. You know what I'm saying? So I think a lot of guys got to stop calling themselves chosen ones, because they don't know exactly what it means to be a chosen one. I can guarantee you they don't. And what are you exactly called to do? If you are really a chosen one, what's the reason for you being a chosen one in the first place? Have you figured that out? A lot of people that claim that they're a chosen one, they don't make any reference to the Most High. They don't talk about the Bible. They don't. And I think that's completely disingenuous, in my opinion. If you're going to sit here and call yourself a chosen one, understand what that comes with. The responsibility, what is God calling you to do? What does he have for you? That's your calling, that's your purpose. And that's between you and the Most High. You have to know what it takes to be a chosen one. Because you can't live how you used to live in the past. You have to understand that the old you has to die. You gotta bury the old you in a grave somewhere. You can't pour new wine into old wineskin. It doesn't work that way. So before you start calling yourself a chosen one, ask yourself those two questions. Take into account those two things. The responsibility of being a chosen one. And what is it that God has called you to do? I think the problem is with the most people that claim they are chosen ones is they think that they are chosen by the Most High. But ask yourself this question: have you actually chosen the Most High? Have you actually chosen to ask the Father in His name for things that are good, things that will produce fruit in your life? Have you asked the Father of anything that you need to receive that's going to help you grow in Christ, grow in Him?